After Jaren recovers, he and Bo-Katan depart Mandalore, though Bo-Katan withholds the Mythosaur's existence from him. Upon returning to Kalevala, they are attacked by Imperial TIE squads who destroy Bo-Katan's home and are forced to retreat. Meanwhile, on Coruscant, Dr. Pershing receives a pardon by the New Republic, but is startled to find Elia Kane among the amnesty program's recipients. Kane declares to assist Pershing in his efforts to continue his cloning research, which has been outlawed by the Republic. They sneak aboard a decommissioned Imperial-class Star Destroyer to steal the necessary materials, but Kane betrays Pershing to the Republic's lawkeepers and later secretly sabotages the mind-wiping procedure used on him by raising the level. Jaren and Bo-Katan arrive at the secret Mandalorian Enclave where Jaren presents the armorer with a sample of the living waters as proof of his redemption. Because she has also bathed in the waters, Bo-Katan is welcomed to the Enclave as well. Thanks for stopping by the Surge T channel. I am Surge T, and that is the synopsis of Chapter 19, The Convert, the third episode of the third season of The Mandalorian. Very good episode. Enjoying it so far. Am I when it regards to season 3? Now this one, first 10 minutes was action-packed, right? Din Djarin recovers. They depart for, Mandalore. But Bo-Katan, she keeps from Mando, keeps from him the fact that there is a mythosaur. She even asks him, "Did you see anything down there?" She doesn't want to even tell him. Keeps it from him. And on their way back to her home, they are attacked by Imperial TIE squads, and she sees her home be destroyed. Now she wanted to take it into her own hands and go after them, but there were so many of them. They barely defeated those TIE squads that were at them. Well, how many were there? About 3, 4? But they had a whole army of them, a whole swarm of them. And the Mandalorian was yelling to him. Jaren was telling her, hey, there's too many of them. Let's get out of here. Let's go home. I got a way to get out of here, a coordinates that they will not be able to follow us. I like how he was able to retrieve, his his aircraft, and was able to take out the. This was during that time when they first were attacked, and he was able to help her take out those initial ones. But I agree with Din Djarin. This is like, I was like that, saying that too. Like, come on, Bo-Katan, you need to get out of there. Live to fight another day, And funny how Grogu hid like a turtle in a shell when all this action was going down, and he just, this little capsule thing there, little craft there, he closed it up. And when everything was done and said and done, everything was over with, it pops back open again. And he knows how to pick his fights too. He's like, I'm going to sit this one out. He knows better, right? That little guy knows better. But after that really great 10 minutes, then they ventured off into 2 characters from past seasons, right? We had Elia Kane, who worked for, Moff Gideon. She claimed that she's now with the New Republic. She's in this amnesty program with these other guys who are trying to make better with their lives and forget about the Empire and all that. But all along, I knew. It's almost like this wasn't even a secret. I knew she was going to turn on him, which she did. But in the meantime, she's playing along like, hey, I got this, let's go to this decommissioned, there's a decommissioned Star Destroyer, let's go over there and we can steal all the necessary materials that you need you know, so that he can continue the cloning program, right? And then when she turned around and you see this big flash of light, this aircraft, and you have these Imperial guards, these that Imperial, what do you call the Republic law keepers, right? And she just hands them over. She just nods to him like, something I had to do, you know. Maybe being pretty much, maybe she was saying, maybe you should have saw it coming, you know. We did. How come he didn't see it coming? I don't know, man. He's a doctor, right? Scientist, or whatever you want to say he is. Scientist, because, scientists are called doctors too. He didn't see it coming. Yeah. But he trusted too much in I guess he just has faith in people, and I guess he figured, she changed. But he was even shocked when he saw her in that table with those other guys. And he was shocked. He sees her and he's like going, "You're here?" And what she does when he's put in that mind wipe thing, that he even knew what it was, but that one Mon Calamari, species of, it's just like, what's his name? Admiral Akbar. There's another person that looks just like him, That's the name of their species, Mon Calamari. Kind of weird. Because, yeah, that's what they are, right? They're squid, But, another callback, and I love callbacks, I've been seeing callbacks in Wednesday, I'm doing that TV show, that series. That's on my channel, and even some others, shows that I've been doing. And he looks at the guy and he said, "It's a trap." And remember that from Return of the Jedi, when Admiral Akbar was leading the charge, if you will, leading the attack on the second Death Star, and doesn't realize it's a trap. And he tries to get those guys out of there. He tries to make them retreat. But, Lando Calrissian, he pretty much, convinced everyone to keep going, keep forward. We know how that ends and how triumphant they were in that movie and destroying the second Death Star. Don't know if there are any other ones, because I'm pretty keen on catching them, and sometimes I don't, but I really, really like, I guess I go for the ones that are obvious, and that's an obvious one. Right away I said, hey, that's Admiral Akbar's line, And then since there's another one of his species, one of his fellow, species, Mon Calamari or whatever, that's what they're known as. It's, kind of good. I love that. I like that. I like the callbacks. I like any show, anybody that calls back to their previous, the previous movies and stuff like that in that series, and it kind of keeps it, within the realm of the Star Wars universe. So it shows that they kind of do acknowledge the others, even though there are other Disney and all that stuff. They want to kind of forget the Luke Skywalker saga. They want to move on with their own, which I guess if you're gonna move on and not keep, what's that in word, not trying to rely too much on the original Star Wars trilogy, and move on, but they gotta make it to the point where people are gonna continue to care, because there's some diehard Star Wars fans that don't even care anymore. They think that Disney and these other, Kevin Feige and not Kevin Feige, but Kathleen Kennedy and the others who forget where Star Wars came from, and they want their own thing there, kind of indifferent to it all. It's just like, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't understand why, but there's the Taika Waititi is talking about making his own Star Wars films. I know, just maintain, do your little spin on it, but maintain the feel of it, the vibe of it, the way we know Star Wars to be. I'm not above, and I'm not, saying that these guys can't make their own type of Star Wars films, but you can't try to forget, to erase what happened, 40 years ago, 40 some odd years ago with the original Star Wars films that came out. You can't do that. But you know, that sequence when it came to Dr. Pershing and Elia Kane, that was about what, 35 minutes or so, and then they go back to what happens with Din Djarin and with Bo-Katan when they return with him. He has a vial of water, from the living waters, and it's like they were there and they were confident that he was going to be redeemed. He goes in with the vial and he gives it to the armor. She pours it in a pool there, or I don't know what you call that. I'll call it a bird bath. And the water glows. There's something happens with the water, and she says, it is the living water. It is the proof that I need." And tells the Mandalorian, tells Din Djarin that you are redeemed. So that is the way. And then she looks at Bo-Katan. And although Bo-Katan doesn't follow the way, she doesn't practice it, she said, did you take a bath? Did you go into the living water? She's like, yeah. And she goes, well, because you did that, you are redeemed too. And she said that because with her, it's different. I mean, she asked her, did you take the helmet off? And she's like, no, I didn't. And she's like, okay, so that means that you are redeemed too. And we know that Bo-Katan wants to, to be able to reclaim Mandalore. She wants to bring it back to its prominence where it was before. But the armor told her that you are amongst the clan, you are now accepted, and you can leave whenever you want. She pretty much saying that you are a member, like you are a part of us. But gives her the thing of like, you can leave whenever you want. But if you want to stay, you want to be amongst the clan, you can. And everybody's patting her on the shoulder, and Bo-Katan, and they do the same to Din Djarin. And that is a beautiful thing to see, right? I mean, we all were hoping that was going to happen. I mean, he did bathe in the living waters, but it was pretty much not the way he wanted. He would have liked to have gone in there and maybe just, poured water on himself, but he took a real deep dive to the depths of Mandalore. Didn't realize that he didn't see the how could he have seen the mythosaur when he was out, right? He awoken when they bounced out of the water and slammed onto the other side. That's when he woke up. And when you see him in this episode, he's choking and he's gagging. He's trying to probably get water out of his mouth and out of his lungs and throat. So he didn't see that, but I'm wondering why she doesn't want him to know. There's probably a reason. I just don't know it at the moment. But there's a reason why. Maybe it's something that he's not ready for. I mean, has Din Djarin heard of the mythosaur? Has he heard of that legend or that lore, or whatever you want to call it? I mean, who knows, right? He may have. Maybe it's just not on his mind right now. But what is that about? I wonder. I'm just wondering, like, because Elia, Kane, and Dr. Pershing, they're from the previous seasons, I believe season 2. And could have been even season 1. But I know that, if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Pershing was the one that was going to operate or do something to Grogu, right? And then Elia Kane, of course, she's the one that served under Moff Gideon. And it's quite a story, but was I into it? Yeah, I mean, but it was kind of weird because the way it came on, the way they just went right into their story. We know who the guys are. I knew who Dr. Pershing was. I knew who Elia Kane was. But it was like, it was just so jarring. Like, it went from that great action sequence to a boom to another story, and it stayed there for almost the entire series until the end. It was that was only at the end. It was only like maybe what, 5 minutes? Yeah, it was only like about maybe that much, maybe a little bit longer. But after that, then that was it. But we got to see what we came to see, and not only did Din Djarin become redeemed now, and he is now a Mandalorian again, but by virtue of bathing in the living waters, she's an honorary member, I guess. Bo-Katan is, of the Mandalorian. She doesn't follow the creed, but they said, okay, you can be a member, you can be a part of the clan, but you can leave whenever you want. I guess that's her out. She can leave, even though she, like honorary member. You know what I mean? But yeah, I enjoyed this episode. I even enjoyed Dr. Pershing and Elia Kane. They really did what they needed to do to kind of reintroduce them and pretty much show where they are at this point. Who knows what's going to happen to Dr. Pershing? I mean, she really did turn. She didn't only turn it high. She went super high on that mind wipe thing, And is he gonna die from that, or is he gonna just be a babbling mush of a person who doesn't know who he is and his mind is just gone? And I mean, they're doing that because she doesn't want him to say anything to anybody. I guess she has a reason. I guess you can't blame her if that's the way she's going to, do her thing. I guess she's still serving the Empire, or she probably is just somebody who is not really on board with the New Republic, and she still has ties to the Empire. But anyway, that is my video, my recap and my thoughts on Chapter 19 of The Convert, the third episode of Season 3. So far, so good. I enjoy this show very much. I mean, I just finished doing The Last of Us. So for those of you who have stopped by, please go over there and check it out. Look in my playlist and you'll find it, The Last of Us there. I did the entire show, the entire first season. Very good. A banger of a season. I loved it. I think that show is not to be beat. If there's another show out there that can beat this show, I'd like to see it. I mean, The Mandalorian is a great show too, but on its own. It's not in the same genre, so I can't really compare the two. I did Andor. Andor was great. Another season's coming, so I can't wait for that. I'm doing Wednesday as well, with the great Jenna Ortega, who's knocking that role of Wednesday out of the park. And of course this one with Pedro Pascal. Speaking of Last of Us, he's also in this show, and he's doing a great job. And I enjoy his acting, I enjoy his work, and he's doing really well in this show. Of course, we have Grogu, we got Katie Sackhoff, who plays Bo-Katan, and and just a great cast, a great show. Jon Favreau, I'm sure he was the one behind that Mandalorian that you see, the one that actually met and greeted those two when they arrived there. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the show. There's nothing more I can say. It's an awesome season so far, and I can't wait for episode 4 dropping next week. But anyway, that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, and thank you for your support. And in closing, and as always, take care.